particulates that are being seeded into the atmosphere. And this data is there. And again, why is all this so much more important than everything else happening in the world, all the political theater? Because the biosphere is the bottom line, the absolute bottom line to our survival. Tiny particles have outsized impact on storm clouds and precipitation. Listen carefully to this as you consider what's going on above your head day in and day out. Tiny particles fuel powerful storms and influence weather much more than has been appreciated, according to a study in the January 26 issue of Journal Science. The research focuses on the power of minute airborne particles known as aerosols. What have I stated over and over? This is what geoengineering is about: stratospheric aerosol injection, which can come from urban and industrial air pollution, wildfires, and other sources. How about the jet aircraft in front of our faces day in, day out? How about that source? Ignored by academia and all power structure-owned institutions. Blatantly ignored. The insane asylum we live in, that people pretend this isn't going on above our heads, that academia, that is completely betrayed, largely, with few exceptions, betrayed the human race and the entire web of life as they continue to pretend that climate engineering is not going on over our heads. This report continues. In this study, scientists examine the role of ultrafine particles less than 50 nanometers. This is an engineered particle, exactly what's called for in climate engineering patents. But this science source, like all others, pretends it's some sort of natural phenomenon. But scientists had not observed until now the smaller particles below 50 nanometers. They didn't know until now. Really, how come the rest of us knew? How come we knew at geoengineeringwatch.org, but these massive science sources didn't know? It's just like the clouds that they now name, about 12 cloud types that never existed before, but nobody ever apparently noticed before, and it's pushed in our schools by official agencies like NASA to indoctrinate our children into thinking that this is somehow natural and benign and not harmful to them. What a sick, twisted society, just like the vaccinations I covered at the beginning of this broadcast. Sick and twisted when so-called healthcare providers and mainstream media liars.
Okay, so despite the fires, we still have the spraying going on up here.
You have to do.
The spraying, the geoengineering sprays,
where is their sense of reason?
the
Where's their sense of
fire
responsibility
propellants,
to the whole? Where's their sense of responsibility
and so
to their children? Where is it?
this is
Headline from multiple sources. The Trump administration is lifting key controls on toxic air pollution.
hijacking.
Does
These
anybody
are
care?
hazy
But
skies,
people are pretending that this latest
theoretically,
public
because
face in the
of
White House is
the
somehow going to cure everything. What a delusional notion.
fires.
Totally delusional notion. I'm sorry if that's offensive to anybody who loves Trump.
And we've still been inundated with these spray lines are primarily coming from north to east, so northwest to southeast. And I've seen several of these lines this morning. Basically, we had somewhat clear skies, and then we have these sprays coming. So these sprays supposedly contain aluminum, barium, strontium, coal ash, sulfur, and chalk, things like that. You can look them up in the weather modification patents. These are hazardous materials, yet the trade-off is to control the weather, control the insurance markets, control the property values, control the crop production, control what you breathe, control the medications to hide the symptoms of the resultant diseases that follow from inhaling these materials. These are actually nanomaterials, which nanomaterials can be absorbed right through the skin, so you don't even have to breathe them. You can just be outside with a short sleeve shirt on and you will absorb these materials. And they actually may contain nanobots, so inhaled materials, nanobots, it's all about control. It's all about covert control over what you breathe, what you think, what your offspring think, and yep, it's covert environmental.